The Third Crusade by Elizabeth, Rachel, and Hannah. Battle of Hattin. In 1187, Saladin marched against the Crusaders in Jerusalem. His army destroyed the Christians at the Battle of Hattin, taking the city along with a large amount of territory. After the Christians heard of the defeat at the Battle of Hattin, they called for help. Jerusalem falls to Muslims. After the Battle of Hattin, the Archbishop of Tyre, Jonas, was sent to Jerusalem to Europe to inform the Pope Gregory VI and European leaders of what happened. The Muslims retook the Al-Aqsa Mosque and they allowed the Christians priesthood services. It was the first time in the Crusades that they allowed the Christians to still worship. Back in England, King Richard took the cross. The cross is a vow that is taken, and the person is given a piece of cloth in the shape of a cross to be sewn on their coat. Frederick Barbarossa, the King of Germany, and Felipe, the King of France, also took the cross. Frederick left Germany in May of 1189 and set off for the Holy Land. The Treaty of Adrianople. Frederick of Germany overtook Isaac II, the Byzantine Empire, who had sided with Saladin. Germans took Adrianople. Isaac and Frederick signed a peace treaty to let Isaac be free. Meeting at Vézelay. Richard and Philip met in Vézelay and agreed to divide the spoils of the Crusades evenly. Then they planned the route they would take. Richard would go Marseilles, and Philip would go to Genova. Richard had 100 ships at his disposal and a force of 8,000 men, which half would have horses. July of 1190, Richard set off to begin his crusades. He was in no hurry to reach the Holy Land due to the fact that he had problems to resolve in Italy. Richard's crusade starts. Richard stopped to take over Messenia and rescue his sister Joan, who had been captured by Tancred of Lens, who had claimed the throne of Sicily and imprisoned Joan. Richard took all of Tancred's money and left him with nothing. Richard and Philip had a falling out over whether or not Richard would marry Felipe's sister. All was forgiven when Richard split the money from Transid with Felipe. Then they all stayed in Sicily for the winter. In March of 1191, Felipe set sail to the Holy Land a few days before Richard. Richard's fleet set sail at two roads. While they were traveling, 3 ships separated and landed on Cyprus. The governor there had sided with Saladin and treated Richard's ships as if they were enemies. Meanwhile, Felipe landed in Acre in an attempt to remove Guy of Lisbon and replaced him with Conrad of Montferrat. Richard located the 3 lost ships at Azala, the port of Cyprus. While there, Richard met with Guys of Lisbon, Geoffrey, Richard's brother, and other prominent leaders to discuss the attempts of Philip to replace Guy with Conrad as king of Jerusalem. On May 12, Richard called a short time out to marry Bernagara at Limassol. Within a month, Richard had taken control of Cyprus and imposed a free tax on the people in return to letting them continue their traditional ways of life. Taking Acre. Richard moves towards Acre, where he is needed to help an army that was seizing the town, which was being held by a garrison of Saladin's troops. Within a few days, the town fell to Richard. Richard helped Saladin's men hostage in exchange for 2,000 dinars and 1,500 of Richard's own troops who were being held by Saladin. When the ransom was not paid, Richard publicly executed 2,700 of the garrison. In July, the city of Acre was taken by the Crusaders under Richard's command. Conrad of Montferrat was killed by 2 assassins that were disguised as monks as he walked home. There are many suspected reasons for the murder. Some theories suggest Conrad had intercepted a shipment of goods bound for the assassin's order, while others suggest that Saladin had ordered the murder of Conrad. Some also think that it was Richard himself who had ordered the murder. Saladin was in Jerusalem when he heard the news of the Crusader success and that they were going to continue towards the Holy City. But Richard decided to return to Jaffa against the wishes of his army and sent peace treaties negotiations to Saladin. Richard moved his army back up to Crete in order to leave the Holy Land. When Richard left Jaffa, Saladin took his army out of Jerusalem to attack the city. After 3 days of assault, the walls of Jaffa fell and the Muslims entered. Richard the Lionheart signed a peace treaty with Saladin, the leader of the Muslims. On the way home. After the peace treaty was settled, Richard left the Middle East to return back home to England. Richard shipwrecked and was captured by the Empire of Germany, Henry VI. The emperor demanded a large ransom to let Richard be set free. After a year, Richard returned to England to find his younger brother John had confiscated all of his castles, titles, and property and left him with only the title of Lord of Ireland.
Third Crusades, open to oral interpretation. I, Pope Greg VI, give you, Richard the Lionheart, the cross to go into the crusade. Why, thank you. And Felipe, the King of France, and I second this. Biscard. Felipe. You, Felipe. You get the cross too. You, Frederick Barbarossa of Germany, you get the cross too. Have fun at war!
I need through Byzantine. No, I was Latin. Sign the treaty.
All the spoils.
As if I should at least get half of it.
Okay, we can divide the spoils.
Because I'm going to Genoa again.
You mind Marseille?
Fine, I guess it's a deal.
Cut! Guys, I gotta go get married. Stop it. Marriage is what brings us together today. Yeah, can you just skip to the vows? I got a crusades going on. Love. Oh, love. Do you? Yeah, Richard. We're not done yet. Oh. Alright, here's the deal. We can have a peace treaty. Or I kill you. You heard him. Okay, now go home. Let's go.
Someone should teach us some manners.
Alright, I get all of it.
As if I should at least get half of it.
Alright, we'll split it.
Fine, why did you know that?
May I have your attention, please?
Alright, I get all the spoils.
As if anyone should get the spoils, it should be me, King Philip.
I'm going to our side.
Where am I going again?
No, you guys. Are you filming?
Well, you have to kind of say.
Alright, I get all of it.
May I have your attention, please? Teachers, will you please?
Hey, Isaac, I need through Byzantine. No, I was Latin. Sign it. You're gonna fight? Yeah. Oh, crap!
I poke Gregory, just lost my hat. I poke. Okay, Amanda.
I feel like if I
the sword!
Hey, Rachel.
Stop it. Okay, we
Hannah.
need a little intro thing. Elizabeth, get up here.